Welcome to Kicking It with Kenya, and today we are going to talk about the movie that is rocking at the box office right now. And I'm sure by now you all know that movie is Endgame. I got Louis P on the couch, and I know he is dying to talk about this, just like I am too. So let me actually kick it to you. What do you think about Endgame?
I think Avengers Endgame was a phenomenal closeout to that chapter of Marvel. I think it was an epic experience. Seeing it in the theater, the energy in the theater was like a show. It was just like a moment. Because when you've been down with Marvel since Iron Man 1 and you've watched them all like I have and like some other people have, and you go from that to this, even going to the first Avengers, it was a like cool moment. But in this monumental moment, I would say that last hour is the best comic book action display I have ever seen on a live screen. I went back to see that movie again just for that last hour, and I enjoyed it. But we're going to talk facts. The first 2 hours, shaky.
How you gonna say shaky?
I'm not gonna lie. Like the first, all right, I would keep it up. I went on record and I said I don't see how Endgame could top Infinity War.
I get, and I remember the argument.
I said that before that.
Yeah.
So when I went out, I said, to me, overall, I like Infinity War better. Just me. And I say it because from start to finish of Infinity War, I was like just engaged. I was in it. For Avengers Endgame, because I went in expecting something different, for a little bit in that first 2 hours, I was sitting there like, all right, we'll get to
But I was actually expecting that. Like, I was expecting, like, because I knew this was a big wrap up, so they're giving everybody their closing statements, basically.
Yeah, but
it was a little long.
I see, and that's why I'm so twisted on it, because I don't want to necessarily say it was too long, because a lot of people feel like it is too long. But then I say, well, what part would you cut out? Like, there was a lot. I don't feel like there was a lot of wasted moments with Avengers Endgame.
No.
Now, personally, there's a couple parts I may cut out, like the Tony and his father stuff. I didn't really need to see. I understand why they did it. I didn't need it though. It's like me. I didn't need like a lot of. I didn't like Professor Hulk. I couldn't.
Yeah,
Professor
no.
Hulk,
once I saw him on the screen, I'm like, you know what? Yep, he ain't gonna be good. And then when he was doing that, I'm like, why?
And that's what I say. With Infinity War, it punches you in the gut the second it starts. Thanos is killing Asgardians, bodying the Hulk, looking like Tyson, bodying Thor, came to Earth, Squidward's getting busy with Iron Man, Spider-Man comes, we in space already. The whole thing is just, I was never bored
Squidward?
Yeah.
Squidward.
I was never bored for 1 second watching Infinity War. I was engaged for the whole time. With Endgame, it was just a lot of scenes where I'm just like, I'm getting a little impatient here. But the second time I saw Endgame, I liked it better because I knew what I was in for. It's my own fault because I had my own personal expectations based on Infinity War. You spoiled me with Infinity War. So I'm expecting even more with Endgame. But, the slow build, the thing I do like about the slow build is when we do get to the final battle,
it means more.
It really had the, oh, shit, let's go type feeling for me. Because then it had that, it earned it. So for me personally, I will say I really enjoyed Avengers Endgame. I saw it a few other times. And that last act, I really feel like they balanced every character well, with the exception of Hulk. That is the biggest gripe I have about this movie.
They did Hulk.
I feel like if you're going to bitch Hulk out in Infinity War the way you did,
he should have had a redemption moment.
Exactly.
He should have had that redemption moment.
That's why I didn't like Professor Hulk, because for everything that he did, he didn't need to be Professor Hulk, aside from the snap. I feel like when he found out Natasha died, that was the only he threw the bench, and it barely even made it across the river. But that was the only Mad Hulk moment we got. But I feel like when Thanos was fighting the 3 Avengers, I feel like you could have had one scene right there where Hulk popped up to help them, or when Thanos has got the gauntlet and he's punching Captain Marvel and punching all these people, you could have squeezed in a little Hulk shows up, boom, stare down. A little something.
Just
something. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the Hulk. This is a dude, this is a monster who gets angrier, who gets stronger the madder he gets.
But remember, his explanation is in 5 years. Because remember, in Infinity War, well, not even, take it back to Ragnarok, him and Hulk were in meshing world. Mm-hmm. So his explanation was, throughout the 5 years after the snap, you know, they learned to come to a mutual understanding. Mm-hmm. And I get that Oprah moment, but I just didn't need that in Endgame. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I could have had it. But yeah, I just wish he had that one redemption moment. Like, he was useful, but we already had everything that you needed to do was Tony Stark.
He was utterly useless. What did he do? The dude popped up out the ground at the end with Rocket and all of them and did nothing. What did he do the entire fight? Nothing.
He was Ben Affleck and
nothing.
And
he was more useless in this than he was in Banner was more helpful in the final battle in Infinity War than Hulk was in this movie. He did nothing. My biggest gripes with Endgame has to do with not the action, because I love the action, but it's certain scenes that I feel make no sense.
None
at all. It was an epic moment seeing Cap grab the hammer. When Cap gets the hammer and you do that little pause, epic. Cap was nicer with the hammer than I've ever seen Thor. Cap was nicer with Mjolnir doing combinations I've never seen Thor do. Lightning. I'm like, wait, what? Like, really? Like, so you're telling me Thor was getting washed with Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, but Cap grabs Stormbreaker and he's bodying Thanos.
But I feel like they wanted to give Cap that because they knew what they were going to do with Cap. Thor got a little bit more time in the universe.
But then you have to balance that because you've established Stormbreaker is way more effective than Mjolnir. You've established Stormbreaker stronger than Mjolnir. So how can you tell me Thor, a god, he may be fat now, but he's a god,
I didn't like fat
washed
I didn't like
with both hammers, but Cap, with one hammer, who's a human, mind you, is washing Thanos with the hammer he's never used before. And he knows all these combinations and all of this stuff, and his unbreakable shield gets broken by a blow that sends him flying back, which he survives unscathed. We forget Captain America he's human. He's super, yeah, but he's still human. He survived a lot of shit he shouldn't survive because he's human, for one. For two, another gripe I had.
Wait, but I want to go back to the first one.
Okay.
I feel like I think they had to give Cap that moment. They knew what they were going to do with Cap. On top of that, Thor was out of shape. Maybe he forgot. He said he hasn't battled in the last 5 years. I get he's a god. I think they just had to try to showcase these characters in different times within 5 years. Thor might have been a little rusty. You know, I get it. I get what you're saying, but I understand the direction.
Okay, but get this. Beyond the out of shape, out of practice stuff.
And you were drunk.
In Infinity War, we saw Stormbreaker break through a 6 Infinity Gauntlet blast. 6 stones. Thanos with 6 stones could not stop Stormbreaker. Thanos with no stones in this one
was breaking
washed not only Thor, but Iron Man and Captain America by himself. Now, what I liked about this Thanos was this is the Thanos we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy. This was the Thanos that wasn't about no peace, wasn't about no I'll spare him for the time. So no, this is the Thanos that was washing everybody. This is the Thanos that I'm killing all you. I'm burning your annoying ass planet. I like that. However, that is why I have the gripe I have with you doing Hulk the way you did him. And I ain't liked what they did to Thor because they made Thor joke. And that bothered me.
But why? I get if he was I just wish that he had a moment too, but he has more time.
But that's what I'm saying. But the reason I don't have that problem because when he powered up and his beard got braided and all that stuff, boom, boom, got both acts, that was an epic moment. What? He was still getting busy on the battlefield. But I feel like they made Thor a joke with Ragnarok because the way he's acting, that's not how Thor is. But I didn't have a problem with it to that degree because he was still epic on the battlefield when it counted. In Endgame, he was still doing what he was doing and all of that. But again, I get the whole he was depressed, so he gained whatever. But I'm just like, it became such a joke where it just took me out of what this character's supposed to be. And it just really bothered me. It just didn't bother me as much as the Hulk moment, because I really feel Hulk was utterly useless. And even though they did what they did with Thor had his moment in Infinity War.
Hulk never
Thor had moments in this. Hulk had nothing. Hulk got his ass whooped in the first scene in Infinity War. And he got punched in the neck, and he didn't want no smoke after that no more.
Out for the count.
And then in this one, he got 5 years, right? So I would assume he can get over shit. He's the Hulk. I don't want to hear this. He was sick of being abused. No, that's not the Hulk.
The Hulk.
That's not the Hulk. The Hulk would be pissed. I want to see rage out Hulk. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Because we're not getting a Hulk movie. So what else are we going to do with this character now?
But maybe this is it. Like, then we're not doing nothing else with
this character. But that's my point. So why would you not give him a moment?
True.
I don't like that. And I didn't like how a lot of things were structured. Like, all right, let me preface my comments by saying I thought the girl power moment.
I didn't need it. I don't like when they force. All right, go ahead.
I thought the girl power moment was just fine. I had no problem with it.
I didn't need it.
That's what I'm saying, but I had no problem with it. I thought it was a cool moment. Every girl I know that I saw this with, like the ladies in the theater, they screamed. I had no problem with that.
I didn't need it.
What I had a problem with specifically was the way it was structured. Because it makes no sense. Here's why it makes no sense. Because Peter Parker has the gauntlet. Peter Parker is in fetal position in the corner. They bitch Spider-Man out too, low key.
He's a kid.
But he has the gauntlet, right? Captain Marvel essentially flies from outer space. Is getting shot at these missiles, these rainfire missiles that Thanos was calling for when Wanda was about to wash him. These rainfire missiles pointed up and shot at Captain Marvel. Evidently did no damage to her. Captain Marvel essentially headbutts Thanos' ship and blows it up. Then lands on the floor and says, "Hey, Peter Parker, you got something for me?" Peter Parker gives her the gauntlet and says, and I quote, "I don't know how you're going to get through that."
You just saw all of the things that she did. And the thing that kills me most with that scene, because I don't want it to be like, oh, another Black Panther issue that I have. I don't want to be like, oh, Kenya, it's a girl power moment. It's about the strength of Captain Marvel. She didn't need the backup.
But you see what you're saying? That's why that's my gripe with it.
What the fuck was Shuri
it's not only that. It's not only that. It's not only that. When Peter Parker, who just saw that, says, "I don't know how you're going to get through this," a bunch of random ass grunts running towards her and a couple ships, which we just seen her break Thanos' ship. But the person that says, "Don't worry, she's going to help," I like Okoye.
But
she's
you
badass.
Cannot do nothing.
But it's levels. On the front lines, we had Okoye, Shuri,
with 2 pistols,
and Mantis. And then Gamora and Nebula pops up.
And
so when Valkyrie, I watched that scene,
and then Valkyrie,
Valkyrie, she had Ariel. I give her that. Wasp too. I give her that.
They could fly.
But what I'm saying is, when that scene happened, the first thing I said to myself was, well, what the fuck is Okoye gonna do?
And what is Shuri gonna do with her little pistols?
This is Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's pretty much indestructibly invincible. Captain Marvel could just fly, and that's exactly what she did. It didn't really lead to shit. She still just flew through the whole shit with ease.
Yeah.
It did. Now, see, what would have made sense, and people probably would have bitched about this too, but would have made sense if, say, Okoye got the gauntlet and Captain Marvel said she's got help. That makes more sense. But essentially, all of these humans, half of them had no powers, really, backing up the most powerful Avenger that we have.
That's not backup.
It was a cool moment to see on screen, see them all together, but it did not make sense from a power standpoint. It made no sense at all. And I just, the power level differences in Endgame kind of threw me off, because I'm like, yo, y'all are doing so much with this, which is why I like Infinity War better. It was just a little more simplified and to the point of what I like, just me personally. But, and then I don't want to jump around, but the time travel aspect of it, I don't like when you use time travel in movies. It just creates so many
questions,
broken plot, and so many things that it's like, well, wait a minute. If you're trying to explain to us that if you go in the past becomes your future, and your future that you left becomes your past, and blah, 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 blah. But in the same breath, you establish that it's the same timeline. Like, so how is Nebula going to kill her past Nebula?
And what is this new Gamora going to do in the effect of, because now Gamora's here?
No, but see, the Gamora one's a little different because I don't believe Gamora stayed. I don't think she was on the ship. I think
no, she did. But I'm saying, but she now is here. She's supposed to be dead.
But no. But I don't have a problem with that because you're taking the Gamora from a different timeline and putting her in a different timeline. Same thing with Loki. That I don't have a problem with. That works. That's the cheapest, easiest way for you to get these characters back. But like I said, again, the thing that I don't like is because you time travel. So you said, why can't you just use the stones to bring these characters back? Well, you can't. Then why did Tony have to die? You have the reality stone. You can rewrite reality. So in theory, no, he didn't have to die. You can change that. You have the time stone and the reality stone. And we've established how powerful these stones are. But then for these plot points, I tried to bring her back. It didn't work. We can't bring her back. That doesn't make sense because these stones are supposed to be beyond that. This is the reality stone. The power you have the power to rewrite reality.
Right.
So what was the point of that? The same thing in the end fight. The whole fight, they're trying to keep the gauntlet away from Thanos. Correct me if I'm wrong. Can't Captain Marvel fly? I don't think Thanos can. She had the gauntlet, did she not?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, what was the point in even having a Captain Marvel movie if we weren't? I get like what the issue is. Like, if we gave Captain Marvel too much, then the audience might not have been happy about it. But in a weird way, in theory, that makes more sense because she is the strongest Avenger, which means, and she had way more of an advantage. You could have gave the dang gauntlet to Wasp if you wanted to go up in the air, or Valkyrie. I don't get why we're still bouncing this around like it's a hot potato on the ground, when in reality, like, you have so many people who have aerial situations here that could have easily got this thing up out of here and then used it or like kept it safe. Or something. And
that goes to my problem that I have when you switch. When you, I get it. They didn't want to overuse Captain Marvel because the backlash they got for Captain Marvel, and you'd have people complaining, "Oh, she's SJW, blah blah blah." I get it, but
if you want to shoehorn her in there,
but that's what I'm saying.
If you're just gonna do it,
but that's the problem when you have characters like that. It's the Superman problem. He's too powerful. So when you in one breath he's destroying certain things, and then he's having hand-to-hand fights with someone else. Captain Marvel got taken out by the Power Stone. We've seen Thanos use the stones against other Avengers. And Captain Marvel got took out by the chick just headbutted your ship. This is Captain Marvel. She's basically indestructible. Yeah, but for what they were up against, I feel like they utilized Captain Marvel in the best way they could to please Captain Marvel fans. They gave her a great moment. And to please the Captain Marvel haters, where she didn't overstep her boundaries. She didn't give the final blow to Thanos, blah, blah, blah. And again, it's the power level things. It's just certain things that every time when I watch it back, I just be like, well, she had the gauntlet. She could have flew. Hell, she could have snapped her damn self. She probably would have survived it. She's powerful. When Tony got the stones, when Tony was able to get the stones, another thing. First of all, a lot of people point out the fact that Tony Stark not only essentially made a time machine in one day, but made a gauntlet that can harness the power of the stones. We just established that Thanos had to go to Nebula,
right, and they had to meet take this the whole dwarf, sun,
and even crushed his hand so he couldn't make nothing else because he had the ability to make this stone. But that's beside the point. So Tony Stark had the ability to do that. I digress. But at the end, when Tony gets all the stones, one thing that bothered me, when Thanos put the sixth stone in Infinity War, power up. Hulk couldn't even talk. Hulk put the gauntlet like, Hulk, Banner, you okay? Yeah. Tony gets all the stones.
I'm Iron Man.
I am Iron Man.
They needed it, but Louis, they needed
I'm sorry. No. That doesn't make sense. It's being petty. It's nitpicking, but it doesn't make sense. You cannot establish that in two movies that Thanos and Hulk could barely harness that power, but Tony had no problem. That makes no sense.
It don't make sense, but it was his closing moment. He had to say it had to be
but
done.
It didn't even have to be done. He could have took one damn stone out the gauntlet and Thanos wouldn't have been able to snap. Dr. Strange said one. What if Dr. Strange meant just take one stone out?
No, he said one way to win. He said take one stone out.
One. It could have meant take one stone out so he can't snap. Give me the time stone
but
back.
But imagine Tony start dying and he's like, I just meant take one stone
That's what I'm saying. It would have been an awkward time at the funeral. But throughout all that, like I said, I could be looking at it as like a nitpick. Over and all in all, I did enjoy it. I just, I don't think, I think it's a little hyped up. Like when I hear people say, it's the greatest super movie. No, it's not. It's not. It's not even the best Marvel movie.
I could even nitpick your Infinity War because honestly, the whole movie could have been done if they did the little spin shit that what's his name did and that just chopped off. Then there would have been no movie. We could always nitpick. We could always do a nitpick.
Yeah, we can. But
that could have been the end of the movie right there.
But the difference is with that, he had the stones already. So there's other things that you could say Thanos could have killed the Avengers easily. But that wasn't his goal in that one. He wasn't trying to kill them. So when they had him and they took the gauntlet, like we see it in the beginning of Endgame. The first thing Thor come in, chop his hand off. You know, my man out here seasoning. My man out here getting his breakfast ready. He didn't even get that ready. He started
Thor over here cooking plantains. Yeah, over here fucking.
But at the end of the day, like I said, I can nitpick any. You know, you can nitpick any movie. Yeah. Did I enjoy it? I enjoyed it. I enjoy it because I'm a fan. The culmination aspect of what this movie meant is what made it what it was.
I think it was just like a beautiful crescendo, Mm-hmm. Like you said, we've been watching this stuff since 2006. Mm-hmm. And I don't think, honestly, I was saying this, I remember I was driving on the way, we was driving on the way to meet y'all to see the movie. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't think that we're ever going to see a movie be so like hype ever. Like this is like a once in like, for the fact that AMC was open 24 hours for a movie, mm-hmm. the fact that like people were flocking, the highest selling tickets sold out in 6 hours. I don't think we're going to see that for a while. If we do see it, it will be like years down the line. I don't think we're going to get that type of like, and this was like a beloved characters. Like we really grew up with them. This is how many years in the making? Like 11 years in the making of films on top of films. And then with Stan Lee dying, like with like, we really like grew up with this. And it was just beautiful. Like as much as it was long, I kind of didn't want it to end because it ends a chapter in like life, in our life with these characters. Because now in the next phase, we don't see anyone.
But that's also why I said the second time I saw it, because I went in with certain expectations, which I shouldn't do in a movie because then it can spoil your experience. So the second time when I knew what I was in for, I really did enjoy it more because I enjoyed it for what it was.
We're saying goodbye.
Like, yeah, essentially. Yeah. But I do feel like what Endgame also does great, it establishes the next steps. It establishes what's next for the Guardians, what's next for Thor, what's next for Falcon. Though I'm not crazy about him getting the shield and becoming the new Captain America. I just... Nobody...
Wait, are you not... But that's what happens in the comics. Are you just mad that it's the actor who's doing it? Or what is the issue? I don't get why people are surprised.
Let's be honest. No one's going to see a Falcon movie.
Nobody's going to see it, but why are we mad?
Are you going to say, yo, let's go see that Falcon? Nobody cares about it. Nobody... War Machine puts in more twerk.
To be honest, that's how I feel about Black Widow, and you always calling me a hater.
But you can say what you want about Black Widow. Black Widow is still a vital part of the MCU because she was introduced in Iron Man 1, and she's been putting in twerk since then. And I'm sorry, Scarlett Johansson sells more tickets than Anthony Mackie. All right? Nobody want to see Papa Doc solo movies.
I don't want to see
You'd have a better chance giving Bucky the shield than giving him a solo movie. Because Bucky has abilities. Bucky's basically Captain America with a metal arm.
But I just don't get why people were so mad and shocked. Like, this is not the way it goes. The minute y'all saw this man was Falcon...
I was never shocked at that.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying, like the reaction to it. Like, people were just like...
Because nobody cares. Nobody wants to see a Falcon solo movie.
They're not giving him a movie, but that's just what it had.
Yeah, they're giving him a Netflix... they're giving him a Disney Plus series. And they're throwing Bucky in there because they got to throw some little juice to get us to watch it.
I mean, all right, it's a series, but all I'm saying is I'm just surprised that so many people like, oh my God, why... That's what legit happened. Are we surprised? The minute we saw Captain America and we saw this man was Falcon, y'all should already knew he was going to be the next one. Like, it's established. I'm confused on why people were mad.
Because
I'm just confused. And it's just because it's Anthony Mackie.
Movies don't always follow the comics.
Well, this one dang sure did.
But here's what I'm saying. I don't have a problem within the context of the movie itself. It makes sense that he would give Sam the shield.
That's what happened.
It makes sense that Sam would, even Bucky, in the context of the movies provided, Bucky doesn't deserve the shield. You know what I'm saying? Sam does deserve it if he was going to pass it to someone, yes. But as a fan watching the characters, if y'all ask anybody, Name your favorite characters in the history of the MCU. Nobody has Falcon in their top 5.
Nobody's going to say
that I've ever came across. And the majority of those lists is probably going to have Falcon in their bottom 5, if not at the bottom. Nobody cares. Just to be real. He had one epic moment in this where he and slammed it. That's it. Other than that, what has he ever done that you could say, yo, that was epic? No one cares. Nobody cares.
But that's why he's not getting a movie. So it's not like it's one thing if he got the shield and then he got a movie. Okay, cool. I get why everybody upset.
I know that they I'm sure they'll want to give him the movie. They just got to puff it up. They're gonna put Bucky in it. Maybe another Avenger here.
That's why I'm kind of seeing what they're trying to do with this Scarlett Johansson thing. Because honestly, what y'all about to do? God, like y'all gonna have to throw some people in there.
No, you're not. You know why you're not? You know why you're not? You know why you're not? I'll tell you why you're not. Because the character of Black Widow has a backstory that can be done in an interesting way.
And had this movie been released in 2009 or earlier, I would have been more excited.
I get it.
Nobody, after everything I done seen, we done seen space, we done seen, I'm going to go and see another movie about a spy. I get it. See this.
I get it. But the best movies in the MCU are the ones that are grounded like that. Iron Man 1 is more grounded than any of the past 2 Iron Mans. And Iron Man 1 is by far better than Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3.
But it was Iron Man 1. Of course it was going to be better.
Doesn't matter, but it's more grounded. Captain America 1 is borderline boring.
It is.
To most people.
It is.
Captain America the Winter Soldier is phenomenal. Okay, what anyone says, it's arguably the best Marvel movie.
It took him forever to get the juice.
Don't matter. But that's what I'm saying. But the second one, Captain America the Winter Soldier, which is basically almost like a Bourne-style way shot too. Phenomenal. Civil War, phenomenal too. The Black Widow movie can be done in that type of way because she's a Russian spy. There's so much you can do with that storyline. Falcon, from a storyline perspective, is just not interesting.
And then now that she died, another reason why it's like, all right, now that you died, it's clearly going to be a prequel.
It was going to be a prequel before.
No, it's all right, so it's going to be, but my thing is like, I'm just not excited for this movie. I'm going to watch it, but I'm just not excited for this movie because I'm just like, why?
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If you had to choose between a Black Widow movie and a Falcon movie, which one would you see?
I'm going to see Black Widow.
Oh, shock.
I'm going to see Black Widow because I'm just not a huge, like...
Nobody is. It's okay.
I'm not a huge...
Nobody is.
I'm just saying, I'm going to see Black Widow because I know they're going to probably try to, like, throw some people up in there. Because it's going to make sense. It's going to make it better.
And because Scarlett Johansson could just carry a movie better than Anthony Mackie can.
She can. I know. I like Scarlett Johansson outside of there. Like, I always say that. I like
Scarlett Johansson will bring fans in. Anthony Mackie's still bringing fans in. His movie on Netflix, I.O., nobody cares about.
Yeah, movie?
Exactly. Papa Doc, nobody cared. He was the worst one in the bunch. He in Notorious, he was a terrible Tupac. He destroyed that role, not in a good way. Nobody cares. I will say this. The Falcon's the best role that I've enjoyed.
But he can actually act, though. I just think he hasn't found his thing.
There's a difference between being able to act and being able to carry a franchise.
No, you're right. I'm not.
Not everyone can carry a franchise. No. And I feel like if you're gonna have someone, why not give Wanda a movie? Wanda has the coolest abilities that we get to really see. She is so dope.
She's so dope.
Vision. They nerfed the shit out of Vision in Infinity War. He's dead. But is he though? Is he though?
You think he might be around?
Of course he's going to be around. The timelines, time travel introduces so many things you can do with. But the way that Endgame set up the future of the MCU with Spider-Man Far From Home, and they introduced in the trailer for that, the multiverse. So now
are we getting into Galacticus?
You got your plot holes. You got your plot holes where you can introduce Galactus, where you can introduce the Fantastic Four, where you can introduce the X-Men.
Well, now they're coming out with, like, what, the Eternals and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, I'm interested in all of that. I don't know. I just hope it's good, though. Because I know, like, Captain Marvel's supposed to be the pioneer for that. And a lot of people don't think
that they're really going to do it. The way it looks like they're shifting is Spider-Man is going to be... Even if you see in the trailer, you keep seeing, so you'd be the next Iron Man, or the world needs the next Iron Man. It looks like they're trying to make Spider-Man that, which from a character standpoint, it makes sense. Spider-Man was the most popular Marvel character pre-MCU. But, I don't think Captain Marvel's a bad character. I will say this, I like the way Captain Marvel was presented in Endgame more than her own movie.
Yeah.
Like the way she was as a character. I like the haircut. I like what there's a lot you can do.
Maturity, and she was sure about herself.
There's a lot you can do with that type of a character, and you can intertwine her with now that Thor left Asgard, you can intertwine Asgard and Valkyrie with Captain Marvel. There's a plot in the comics where Captain Marvel and War Machine get together. I don't know if they could do that, but they kind of hinted at it in Endgame where they're all on the screen and Captain Marvel looks at War Machine. He's like, be careful. She has like a concerned look on her face. You can go there with it. This puts War Machine in more movies. You have, like I said, the Asgardians of the Galaxy. That's a great thing, putting Thor with them. Doctor Strange. I would love to see Wanda possibly added in Doctor Strange.
I love Doctor Strange.
There's so much you can do with
He's
that.
So dope.
Black Panther 2 is going to sell itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I feel like the future of the MCU, there's so many things they can do. Even though they lost Downey and they lost Evans or Cap and Iron Man. I mean, I feel like their story arcs have been completed and wrapped up in a pretty little bow, the best way possible.
It was beautiful.
Yes, and it was a touching. And as I'll say, last thing I'll say, Tony Stark's death, I feel, was done in a way that was, like, for me, I feel like what was more touching beyond him dying was Pepper's reaction. So when you see Pepper put her hand on the arc reactor and says, you can rest now, and then the arc reactor just goes off, I feel like that was such a powerful way to show that. It was a powerful moment. Even Pepper, how strong she was for him.
Because I feel like she always knew. Like, not always knew he was going to die, but to be with a man that this is what he does, is always going to be a chance that this could be the thing that happened. So I think, like, she made peace with that a while ago. So, and then the fact that this is probably what she always knew, that it was going to come down to this. Yeah. And it was a beautiful send-off. And then that Love You 3000. Yeah. That was, oh man, it was really good. But tell us what you think in the comment section about what we said about Endgame. If you have anything different you want to share, please let us know. Hashtag Kicking It With Kenya, hashtag Endgame. And as always, like, subscribe, and follow. And until next time,